Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2. I was not gonna come out here today. Had no intention coming out here today, but here I am, right now. All right, we're gonna be professional. We gonna be professional today. All right, we're gonna do it professional style. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be professional. Let's get the camera going. All right, here we go. What's the deal with people? You know what it's Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you, another one, and this one is we are talking Stannis Baratheon and the Winds of Winter. You know, one of my favorite topics all day, every day. You know what I mean? I could definitely talk Stannis Baratheon forever. So let me say what up to the people who are joining me, but I'll just let you know that this was not planned. I wasn't going to do so. This today was going to be a stream. I was going to be a Lady and Don giveaway stream, but the lady could not join this live stream, so we were not able to do the giveaway today. So most likely, we'll move it to tomorrow, the giveaway stream, and that's going to be for San Rixian and Bernie's stuff. All right, so I'm going to hook all that up. We're going to get that done most likely tomorrow. That'll go down and stuff. Let me see where I'm at tomorrow and stuff. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow. So let me say what up to the people right here chilling at me. Came to rock with me tonight, late night tonight, right? 8:30. So what up to my lady? She's right in the chat right there. LMR. Some people know her as Lev. What up to Santavia Major? What up to Jay Cruz? What up to Adrian G? Up in the goddamn building, rocking with the Don Tony Teflon. Who else do we got up in here rocking? Who else we got? I see other people in there. What up to Luke? I'm just gonna say Luke because I don't fuck up the last name, so we're just gonna go with Luke on that one, right? What up to Brian Tarman? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? You know what I mean? What up to all y'all people out here rocking? What up to everybody? What up to Peter Griffin? What up to Linda R? What up to DJ? Up here rocking with us right now. You know we're gonna be good. Yeah, so that's Beef and Bernie stuff and Sam Rixie and stuff. We're gonna give that away tomorrow. So we did today, you know what I mean? But she couldn't make it, so we're gonna do that tomorrow. What up to NYDA? What up to Tymar? The man Ty is up in the building. Ty Smith is up in here. Tamar chilling with us right now. What up to Rachel? What up to Peter Griffin? What up to Bryce? Everybody up in here rocking with me tonight. I really truly appreciate it. Obviously, you know, I ain't try to, you know, I ain't advertise this or do anything like that because, as I said earlier, what up to Christy of Old Stones up in here like that? Oh, Luke, looking good, tough. We're gonna highlight that comment right there. We're gonna put you on the board for that one, baby. We're gonna put you on the board for that one, baby. We're gonna put you on the board as always. Thug mug is in hand. What up to Moose Bolton up in here? You know what I mean? Rocking with the Don Tony Teflon. What up to Aaron Webb in here? Rocking Christian Olds. All right. So we're going to be professional today, right? We're doing a little professional. What up to Val? I see you. You know what I mean? All right. We're going to be professional today, right? So we're going to go crazy or anything else like that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go crazy and anything like that. So we're going to be professional. And we're going to talk about Stannis Baratheon and Winds of Winter Stannis Baratheon, because we've seen the ending for him in the show, and I'm sure that all you people realize that there's no way that's going to happen. Right? I'm not really going to debate it with anybody. If anybody wants to truly believe that Brienne Tarth is going to find Stannis Baratheon outside of Winterfell wall and execute him like we've seen in the show, then I don't know what you're doing. It could be crack. I'm not saying it's crack. Maybe it's heroin. Maybe oxycodone. But we know that it's something, right? We know that there's something that you're taking that affects your mindset and affects the body on a different type of basis, right? We understand that you are taking something in there that is messing with your judgment, right? Because there ain't no way that's gonna happen. You can take it to bed. In fact, if that actually happens in the books, I will shut my channel down for good straight up, because this is impossible for that to happen. All right, it's not going to happen like that. So we're gonna try and talk about here exactly how we feel Stannis is going to go down, how it's going to end for Stannis. If it does end, you know, maybe he makes it to the end of the book. We're going to try to talk about this. We're going to deal with particularly the winds of winter more than a dream of spring. All right. So we're going to deal with that and everything else. So, all right. I hope everybody is good. You got your snack and you got your little drinky drink and you got your snack and everything else. And all right, let's get right into it. So what do we know about Stannis Baratheon? We have to take it from the Crofters Village, right? That's what we know Stannis is right now. That's the last know about that whereabouts that we know that we hear from Stannis, right? We have the Winds of Winter chapter. We have the Winds of Winter Theon sample chapter to go on there, and I'm going to do this from memory and everything else. So we know that he's held up there. All right, there's a watchtower with a light. There's a tower with a beacon fire in it. There's a lake right outside that tower. It seems to be a small inside. There's a weirwood tree outside of this. In between the lake, there's a weirwood tree out there, like on a little type of island over there. And that's where he's held up. It seems to be that it's snowing heavily. Now, when we see in the show, and we've seen Stannis execute his daughter. Let's get through that real quick. We've seen Stannis burn his daughter. It was for the reason that there was supposedly snow on the ground. There was nothing he could do. Melisandre told him to do this so that he can, advance on Winterfell. Now, the snow that we've seen in the show was probably, I don't know, maybe, I'm not even going to give it a foot because it didn't look like a foot deep. I'm going to give it maybe 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches. So they want you to believe in the show that Stannis Baratheon burnt his daughter because he couldn't get through 4.5 inches of snow. Now, it would be impossible for Stannis Baratheon to execute this with his daughter. For number one, his daughter is back at the wall. He is all the way in Crofters Village, right? So his daughter's at the wall with Melisandre and his wife, and a couple of Kingsguard's men is there, and Patchface is there, right? We have the Wildling Val is up there. We have who does not like Shireen because she says that she's tainted, right? So she's up there. Jon Snow is up there, and that's the way it goes. So there would be no way for Stannis to ever come in contact with his daughter, with Melisandre, in order for that to happen. So the reasoning is not good. Now, in the books, Stannis is buried within, I'm going to say, at least 4 to 5 feet of snow is buried these people in there, all right? So Stannis is held up in this village. He has Theon as a captive. He has Asha Greyjoy as captive too there. Theon has escaped with the fake Sansa, Jane Poole, and Stannis's men. Umber had picked him up outside and brought him to the camp. That is how he arrived there. All right. So Stannis's plan is to send fake Arya off to the wall to Jon Snow. But he's going to keep Theon there because all of the people that are in his army, the people that have with Stannis, who are there with Stannis, sitting with Stannis, they want Theon executed because of what he did to the Stark. So he's not willing to give up Stannis. He's not willing to give up Asha, but he's going to give up. He's going to give up the fake Arya and send her back to the wall. What up to my man Mojini Languini up in the building right now, chilling with me right there. My brother from another mother. I ain't seen Mo in a while. All right, so that is where we find Stannis and all the people there. So while at this village, Stannis undoes the Karstark's treachery. He figures out that the Karstarks plan on. So he figures out that the Maester first is sending a map. Has sent a map to Roose Bolton. Right? He figures this out because he's the man. He is Stannis. And he gets the Maester to admit that he sent a map to Roose Bolton. So Stannis then knows that Roose Bolton knows his whereabouts. Now, Roose Bolton was having some problems himself inside of Winterfell. All right, he had 2 armies that were at each other's throats, the Freys and the Mandalays. Literally because they cut Walder Mandalay right in the throat. All right, so Roose Bolton's plan is, hey, let me get this disruption out of the castle, and let me send the army after Stannis. So that's what they do. it is pointed out that the Freys and all of them are wearing heavy armor. Now you gotta understand the Freys, and they ain't really familiar with the North, with the weather of the North and everything, but it's pointed out that they're on heavy horses. All right. So we must make that distinction that we know that they're on heavy horses and they are coming for Stannis. So Stannis knows this. He realizes this. Then he realizes that the Karstarks are against him too. He has a couple of Karstarks trying to make a move. He gets their arm cut off while the other one's father realizes that he has no chance, so he has to move. They go get taken captive too. Now he plans on burning those people too. But now Stannis is here. Theon then questions Stannis and says, you have these people coming after you. And he tells Stannis everything that he needs to know about the army. And Stannis interrogates Theon and basically figures out exactly that these people are coming after him, and that's it. So we hear Theon say in the chapter, I do believe it's something like, you have no castle to hide behind. You have no towers. What are you going to do in this thing? You have no natural defenses. And then we hear Stannis say the word yet. All right. And we must focus on this word yet. All right. So Stannis is probably at this particular time in the show, in the books, the greatest battle tactician that they have in the land right now. All right. We know how great he is. We know that he is the one who smashed Victorion Greyjoy when he went up against them and destroyed Victorion and his Iron Fleet. So we know he's up to something. So now we have to figure out exactly what he's up to here. So what he's up to, we know that there, as I gave you the layout before, people have said before this that he was up at the Beacon Tower. And not only was he up at the Beacon Tower is up there. It's got the light up there. And he said that he was in his chamber for a long time. And many people thought that he was just talking to Melisandre. All right. That's what people speculated, that he was talking to speculate to Melisandre. Now, Asha, we're going to deal with Theon in a second. We'll talk about that in a second. So that, you know, we should probably, we'll talk about, probably the thing what happened with Theon will happen later before this thing goes down with the battle. But we'll talk about Theon in a second. We'll deal with the battle real quick. So he has this army coming at him, two armies, two people, two different houses coming at him right now. He has no defenses, natural defenses there. But we do know that he has the beacon fire that people could see from a long way away, and we know that he has the lake right there. So it seems that the lake was frozen. Now, early in the chapter, when you hear in the chapter of the sacrifice chapter, you hear that people are fishing this lake for food because they're basically starving. All right, so they're starving, they don't have enough food, they don't have anything. And Stannis is at the point right now where he feels that he has to have a battle. He needs to have something happen right now because, you know, at this point, the people can start to become mutinous because they're just sitting there, they're starving. So something has to get, right? So we have the lake there, and the lake, they're fishing the lake. And the one guy goes to him and says, the lake is so full of holes, it look like Swiss cheese, and people have fell into the lake. So although it has snowed out there deeply, it's not cold enough to freeze the lake completely, and the holes that are in it is making the lake weaker. Now, earlier, before, when Umbers, they went outside of Winterfell, what they did was they dug holes, they dug pits outside of Winterfell, and we have a couple of Frey went in there and broke his neck, right? So we see these two strategies. We see that there's holes inside of the lake, and we see that there are pits outside of Winterfell. So when you put those two things together, and we have a weirwood tree there, and we have a beacon fire up on the other tower. Now, there's two different things that we could look at here and how he's going to defeat these people right here. If they're on heavy horses, it's pretty obvious to see that they don't know where they're going from. If Stannis turns off that beacon fire from there, now there's two ways to go. He could turn the beacon fire off from where he's at in the village, so that fire is gone. We know he has Lightbringer that has a huge light on it. If he stands over by the weirwood tree with the sword Lightbringer out, they could confuse that for the beacon fire. They could charge towards the beacon fire. It would lead them right directly onto the lake. And with heavy horse, if regular men are falling through that lake, it'd be pretty obvious that the horses and everything else will fall into that lake. it seems like they're going to fall in the lake now. How they get there is really how it goes. But that's what it seems like his natural defenses would be. Now, I did a video about this a very long time ago about the Battle of Ice. You can check it out. It's called the Battle of Ice. A very long time ago. So don't look at the quality of the video or the quality of the audio. Just listen to what I'm saying in there. But I use a master tactician of our generation, of our time, a real life one, to break down this battle a long time ago. And Sun Tzu. I use Sun Tzu's philosophies. All right. And Sun Tzu says that when people are on death ground, and death ground is when you have no choice but to do anything. Like when your people, he says, when your people are on death ground, they will fight like they've never fought before. So death ground to Sun Tzu means that there is no retreat for you. Right? You cannot retreat. You're stuck. So you have choices here, right? You're sitting on death ground, you're starving, they have nothing. Their back's against the wall. The other people who came in there with full bellies, they have a choice to flee. You can't flee. So when you are on death ground and you put your troops on death ground, they will fight like their life depends on it because they know their life do. That's exactly what Stannis' troops are right now. They are on death ground. The Freys and the Mandalay are not on death ground. And we know that the Mandalays truly are with Stannis' team, right? And they're coming behind the Freys. So it seems like the Freys will then attack Stannis Baratheon, fall inside the ice water. His people being on death ground will then attack them, charge them, and destroy the whole Frey army. Now, we could see the Mandalays then taking the Freys from the rear, killing all the Freys and knocking the Freys out of the whole situation and then destroying the Freys right there. That's what we could see happening. That's what I see happening. I'm sure there's a lot of people who believe that that's going to happen. And that's how Stannis will win this battle at the Crofters Village. That's what I believe. So before we go into the next part, if anybody has any type of thing to say about this, please put in the comments section. Any questions about this, let me know. Mojini says, the Battle of Winterfell will be based on the Scottish hero Robert the Bruce. 100%. Look up the battle. He won it. We will talk about that in a little bit, Mojini, without a shadow of doubt. LMR says, yep, Tony, it's like interacting with a wounded animal. They are more dangerous. Just like when I'm in a bad mood. Yes, you know, when you deal with death ground and people on death ground, when you deal with people whose backs against the wall, as LMR said, a wounded animal. You know, even if you find a cat and the cat's got hit by a car and you go over to try to help the cat, you'll see that the cat will try to attack you instead of allowing you to help them because they're already hurt. They don't know their life is. They know their life is on the line right there, and they're going to fight for whatever it's worth, even though you're trying to help them. They don't know that, right? This is what it is, and this is where his people are right now. So I think that is the way it's going to be. His people have their stuff. They're right. They're eating the people over there, right? There's people he had to hang over there and stuff because they have eating other people. That's how hungry they are right now. So all these people that are coming there to fight, that looks like food to them. You know what I'm saying? So when people look like food to you and you see a bunch of food charging towards you, then you know you're going to try to eat, baby. And these people are going to eat them alive. And that's just going to be the way it's going to be. So I don't think, you know, it is any doubt that that's how that battle is going to end. If anyone has any other difference or feels any other way on how it's going to end, please put in the comment section. If you have anything else to say about this battle, let me know. Put it up in there. And if not, we'll move on to a different part of Stannis Baratheon stuff. Brenda Starr says, I think Stannis will win the battle at the lake, but I don't think he will be able to take Winterfell. Well, we're going to get into Winterfell in 1 second, Brenda, and we're going to talk about how Stannis does that. Moose Bolton says, does Stannis burn Roose? We'll get into anything dealing with what happens after this battle and any questions like that, Moose, after. But right now, we're just going to sit here and we're going to focus on exactly what we just talked about real quick about the battle with the Karstarks and everything else and all that. So we have Carl Snark says there was a real life battle of ice where they fought in the frozen lake in Russia in 1242. Yes, in that video that I talked about, I bring up the real battle and I tell everyone about that. So you can check that video out. I put all that stuff in there all long ago. If you want me to redo that video, remix it, you let me know. I'll remix it for you. All right. I do think J. Cruz says I do think the show got Jon Snow's stories right. So I think if it had name to it, I have to give a nod to Jon. All right. Sidney Taylor says I believe Stannis will be victorious against the Boltons, but I do think he will die soon after on the conflict with Young Griff. All right. So I guess that right now we are, and Moose Bolton says Stannis is the one true king, and he's correct over that. I think we all in agreement here. How will Stannis react to the likely betrayal of the phrase by the Mandalay? Betrayal of the phrase by the Mandalay. So that's interesting. The betrayal of the phrase. So it's the Mandalays that Stannis is going to have a problem with. So that's the issue, because at this time Stannis believes that Mandalay killed Davos, right? That's what he, and not only does he think Mandalay killed Davos, he believes that he cut his head off and stuck an onion in his mouth and dipped it in tar. Stannis knows that whole story. So how he will react to the Mandalay people is going to be interesting. Will he just outright attack? I think that when he sees them killing the phrase, he won't attack them right away. He'll sit back and then he'll get the real story. But at this particular time when they come, Stannis does believe that they killed Davos. You know what I mean? He's very upset about that. All right, I think we have talked about this whole battle of ice. All right, let's deal with Theon Greyjoy real quick, and then we're gonna deal with the Pink Letter, and then after the Pink Letter, then we're gonna deal with the Winterfell battle. All right, so Theon and Asha. So they're there, and they're very, very important that he has these two chat hots. Now, Theon goes and tells Stannis everything that he knows about everything that's going on there, right? So when he does this, Asha then comes in, and then that's when he spills his gut to Asha. So Asha tries to beg for Theon's life, but Stannis is like, I can't do it. People would desert me if I did that. They want him dead for Ned. So Asha has witnessed someone get burned alive in the sacrifice chapter, and she thinks that it's a horrible death, and she does not want her brother to suffer this death at all. So she suggests that Stannis sacrifice Theon to the weirwood trees, right? Now, during this chapter, there are two crows that are inside of the cage that are there, ravens, right? And in these two ravens is Blood Raven and Bran. Now, Stannis doesn't know this, but we know this as readers that it's Blood Raven and Bran that are in there. So as soon as she asked him to sacrifice Theon by the weirwood tree, they both start going crazy in the cage and start saying, tree, 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 tree. And that's how the chapter ends, all right? That they want this sacrifice to go down in the tree. Now, I'm doing a whole series. I was going to do the video this week, but I'll do that video next week, part 3 of the Children of the Forest. And I'm going to discuss all of this with Blood Raven and Targaryens and the Children of the Forest and everything else and the blood sacrifices. That'll all be in the next video, all right? We'll do the Bran in the last video, how the Children of the Forest killed Blood Raven and killed Bran and took the Iron Throne. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and everything else for all that good stuff and everything else. So we're going to go into that, but we see that Bran and Blood Raven are screaming tree, 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 tree. Now, I can't see them doing this here because they think that there's a way for Theon to escape. Now, if there's a way in the battle madness that's going on, that somehow Asha and Theon, because Asha is allowed to walk around free, right? because Justin Massey wants to marry Asha. All right, he's trying to get Asha because he wants the Ironborn. Justin Massey is an up jump guy. He wants Asha to legitimize him, but Stannis sends him off with the Iron Bank of Braavos man to get his coin so that he could buy, and tells him to buy his cell swords from Braavos, right? That's what he sends him. But he wants Asha to go with him. Stannis does not allow him to go with him. So when you deal with the people that are heading up to the war, you got Justin Massey heading up to the wall. You have fake Arya heading up to the wall. You have Tycho Nestoris heading up to the wall, all up there waiting for Jon Snow. So that is how that is supposed to go all up there. So Justin Massey wanted Asha to go with him because he wants to take him as his wife. But Stannis is like, she's already married, and he's like, oh, it's a marriage that they haven't slept together, blah blah, easily put aside. So then Stannis is like, listen, serve my purpose, do my purpose well, and everything else. And then if you do that, if you do serve my purpose well, then we'll talk about you getting this thing. All right, and that is what it is. So he sends him up there, but the words that he says to this man before he leaves, he says specifically to him, he says, listen, you may hear, he said, we may lose this battle. You may hear that I'm dead. Even so, I want you to get my troops anyway and put my daughter on the Iron Throne. And Justin Massey swears to do this. Now, there's a reason why Stannis Baratheon says to him, you may hear that I'm dead. Why, out of all people, would he say those exact words? You may hear that I'm dead, right? Why would he say this to this man out of nowhere? He says, hey, you may hear that I'm dead, right? So there's a reason why Stannis said this thing, and that goes to the pink letter. Because Stannis has sent the pink letter. We've seen Jon Snow receive the pink letter, and we know that George said that the Winds of Winter chapter of Stannis' Theon chapter happens before Jon Snow receives the pink letter. And as I just told, and in that pink letter, it says that Stannis Baratheon has been defeated. All right? It says that in there. So Justin Massey, as I just told you, is on his way to the wall. Right? He's on his way there with the fake Arya and Tycho Nestoris. So if Stannis wrote the pink letter, which he did write the pink letter, he would know that it's a good possibility that when he reaches there, Jon is going to have the letter already, and he's going to tell him, listen, the king is dead. Right? So this is the reason why he says this. Now, we're going to go more into the pink letter in a little bit, but we're going to finish up with Theon and stuff. But that's just one point I wanted to bring up about the pink letter, that we know that Stannis wrote this damn thing. All right, so it comes down to Theon's fate right now. Stannis says he has no choice but to kill him. He wants to feed him to the fires. That's what all his supporters want. But they want him to sacrifice him to the weirwood tree because he thinks it's going to be a quicker death. Cut his head off, she says, just like Ned Stark would do it, just like the old gods do it. He slew Ned Stark's children. He deserves to go out the old way. That's what Asha says to him about him. So Theon is in really no shape to do anything. This is not the Theon that we've seen in the show, right? The Theon that was, with Reek at the show. No, that we've seen him as Reek in the show. That is nothing compared to what he is in the books. In the books, if people haven't read the books or don't know, he has his fingers cut off. He has his toes cut off. He had just about every tooth knocked out of his mouth. He only has shards of teeth left in his mouth. His hair is turned white because of all this torture he had at the hands of Ramsay. He's forced to sleep with the dogs every night. So this is a different Theon. Like the Theon that we've seen in the show, Alfie Allen, had none of these things. And basically he was able to take a shower, put some moisturizer in his hair. You know, a little Pantene Pro V. You know what the vitamins? You know what the Pantene Pro V does? I've seen the commercials with the white woman bouncing their hair up and down after they put that shit up in there and they bounce. At the Pantene Pro V with the vitamins inside of it, right? You know, he's got some of that in there, Alfie Allen, and all of a sudden he's back to normal, right? That's what it is. He's back to normal instead. There's no curting back to normal for this Theon Greyjoy. All right? You're not going to take a shower and your fingers coming back. You're not going to take a shower and your toes is coming back. It's not happening. All right? The damage, the teeth ain't coming back. This is not nowadays. There's no dental implants. All right? Can't get dental implants in those motherfucking teeth. Your teeth is shot. All right? Shot. So there's no way this man is coming back the way we've seen him come back in the show. We did see him die at the hand of the Night King in the show in a very stupid way. I must say it was stupid. And if y'all want to say that, no, Theon protected Bran. He was there for Bran when it counted. If you want to say that, all right, and that's what y'all want to say, I ain't gonna argue with you. If you want to say that Theon getting his dick chopped off helped to beat the Ironborn guy because the guy kicked his ass, punched him in the face, I don't understand this. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I've been in many brawls in my life, and the Ironborn man was punching him in the face on the beach, beating him down, and then after he punched him in the face, then he went for the knee to the nuts. Now, from the brawls that I've ever seen, you usually start off with the knee to the nuts, right? You like if a woman is fighting a man or something like that, right? She doesn't go out there and try to punch the guy in the face. She's going for the nut shot first. And then if the nut shot is successful, then you go for the headshots. I've never seen anyone go for the headshots and then beat someone up and pick them up and then go for the knee to the nuts. All right? So Theon's on the beach in the show. The guy punches in his face, kicks his ass, and then out of nowhere, the guy just goes for the knee to the nuts. And Theon smiles about it. I ain't got no balls, motherfucker. Ah, and headbutts him, right? Oh, thank God I ain't got no balls. Thank God I got no balls. I didn't feel that. That's nothing to brag about. That's nothing to be happy about. But that's what happens in the show, right? He gets beat down, and then he's sitting there, you know, like this. The guy needs him with nothing. Yeah, come on, man. You gotta be realistic here, all right? So none of that situation, right, it's going to go down like that. It doesn't happen like that. So Theon is not in the same position where he's going to be at a last battle here to protect Bran or anything like that. All right. Now we know that he begs Stannis and says, "Hey, let me be one of your men." And Stannis is smart enough to say, "Why? So you can betray me like you betrayed everybody else." I'm not stupid, Theon. It's not going to happen. All right. So it comes down to it. Who's over there putting hearts at Elmer? Oh, that's Shade of the Evening. Right. So we come down to it. The nutless wonder, Theon Greyjoy of the Unsullied, right? How does it end for him? Does he get executed at the Weirwood Tree like Bran and Blood Raven are calling for? I almost said Blood Raven. It almost happened. It almost came out there. You know what I mean? It almost did. Does he get executed after now? I think it's a good possibility that Theon's story ends right here. I really believe that there's a good chance that he could be executed right there. But I don't know exactly when this would happen. Would it happen before the battle starts or after? Now we have to know that Bran and Bloodraven want him done. Why? Because he has a form of king's blood, and they want him sacrificed by the Weirwood Tree. And that's why they're asking for it. They're begging for it. So this is the brand new said, Theon. And what was that words that Bran said to Theon at the end of the show? Theon, you're a good man. Thank you, Bran. I appreciate that. You know, that was the vote of confidence I needed, Bran. Thank you so much for telling me I'm a good man. I truly, you know, I needed that. I needed to hear that before I charge the Night King with a weapon I've never used in my life like a fool and get killed. I need to hear you tell me that I'm a good man. I need to hear that. That was really good. You know, so I believe that there's a good possibility that Theon does die right here. When I look at him furthering the story or what he could do further in the story, I don't see any redemption for Theon at all. I don't see anything he could do that he could be forgiven for. I think that his redemption was trying to save the fake Arya. I think that was his redemption, that he could get out. I don't think that he'll ever turn back to Theon Greyjoy. I think he'll always be that Reek person. I mean, we've seen him jump out of the ship, like do a swan dive when Euron was there, when you seen the fire, right? Which was hilarious. It was hilarious. Whoever did that, the actor, whoever, I don't think it was Alfie Allen, but he looked like a fool. He looked like he was trying to do like a 5-star frog splash from the top turnbuckle, like Eddie Guerrero or D'Lo Brown, and didn't even do that right when he fell in there. So I don't think that there's any way that Theon's character goes forward. So I do believe that it's a good possibility that Theon Greyjoy does get executed right here by the Weirwood Tree, like Bran and Bloodraven want. But I'm going to ask you in the comment section when dealing with Theon, what do y'all think is going to happen to Theon? And if you do have any other questions about this, please leave it right now in the comment section, and we will pull them up. Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam did do a good fucking frog splash. I mean, 5-star is. I think D'Lo Brown did the best frog splash of all of them, though. If you look at D'Lo, he wasn't the most popular out of all those guys. But if you look at D'Lo Brown's frog splash, I think when he was in the air, he looked better than all of them. Rob Van Dam went straight up in the air and got really high. But D'Lo Brown, when he put his arms between his legs, I think he did the best looking one. Check it out and then get back to me and tell me what you think about that. NYDA says Theon does need to redeem himself somewhat for his arc to make sense. I don't know about that. I think that his redemption is what we've seen. Yeah, I think that his redemption is this tribe. What else can he do? What can he do? He can't even hold a knife. I mean, when they thought that Theon was the ghost of Winterfell, they said he couldn't be the ghost of Winterfell because he can't even hold a knife with the fingers that he has left. So what could he do to redeem himself? What is there that the guy can't hold a knife? He can't do anything. What can he truly do to redeem himself? Be a courier? He's not a battle tactician. He's not shooting any bows and arrows anymore. What can he do? So I don't see that being out, you know. So I think that his redemption is his blood being sacrificed. Edward Martin says, I think that Theon is going to be sacrificed. I agree. Shade of the Evening, she says, let me read this out. She says that Asha might be able to save him. He could possibly help her on the Iron Islands. Help Stannis some kind of way. I don't feel like we're done with him. Why hasn't Stannis killed him yet? All right, so you don't have to call me Teflon TV. My name, that's just the channel name. I'm the Don Tony Teflon. All right, but I appreciate it anyway. So I will say that, can Asha save him? Quite possibly, maybe, as I said earlier, in the heat of the battle, because she is free and Stannis is allowing her to walk around freely, that somehow maybe they go to do the sacrifice at the Weirwood Tree And then all of a sudden, they get there and the attack happens, and in the fray, she could smuggle him out. I do believe, yes, that could he help her somehow in the King's Moot or something like that. But we know that she ain't winning that. All right. If that were the case that she was going to win that, we would have seen that in the show. They would have put that in the show. The fact they didn't put it in the show shows that that's not how she's going to get it. When she gets to Iron Islands, it's because she's going to be the last woman standing. Stannis hasn't killed him yet. He wants to kill him, but he has not. At the end of this chapter, he's saying he's going to kill him. He's just debating how he's going to kill him. He has said already, your life is forfeit. You're already dead. It's just the manner of how you're going to die. And Asha at this particular time is just trying to get him not burnt. She'd rather just see his head chopped off and not him suffer. You know, so that's what I see there. But I think that, you know, which is your statements are good, but it's hard for me to see the man surviving. He could, but it's truly hard for me to see him surviving. NYDA says, I don't think he can actually redeem himself. I just think he should overcome being Reek and die as Theon. You know, that would be good if he was able to do that. You know, but realistically, I mean, if they really want to be realistic about it, and they really want to act like that type of trauma that he has suffered, I don't know. It would take someone years to come back from that, right? It's nothing that you can just come back from in a couple of months, 5 months, when you're subjected to treatment like that. You see people who go to prison, and they're in prison for years, and they come out and they're still institutionalized, right? And they can't not, they still act like they're in jail. Just like it's like Toothpick, right? What's his name? Toothpick? Yeah, or Ice Pick. Toothpick, I think. It was Ice Pick or Toothpick. It's one of those picks. You know what I'm talking about. And don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood in South Central. I don't know if it's Ice Pick or Toothpick. I'm sure Santavia Major will tell me exactly who it is in 1 second. But it was either Ice Pick or Toothpick. All right? Yeah, so let me tell you, if y'all didn't see that movie, let me explain to you about Ice Pick or Toothpick. All right? It's Toothpick, right? Because God says Toothpick. So he's out there, and he still thinks she's in jail, though he got out. And even when he's playing cards while he's in jail, instead of putting money up, he putting up cartons of cigarettes, right? He puts cartons of cigarettes up because he still believes, even though he's out, he still thinks he's in jail. And that's when he says, they go on, and he goes, yeah, motherfuckers is acting like some straight bitches to me. Y'all think y'all scared of jail? Come on, take me to jail. Take me to jail. Throw away the key. Lock me up. Throw away the key. I ain't afraid to fucking nigga up his ass. He said, he goes, ooh. Y'all ain't never seen the soap bubbles run down the crack of a man's ass before? I was just teasing y'all. I was teasing. That was jokes. Y'all ain't never seen it. The soap bubbles run down the crack of a man's ass before. What the hell are you doing in jail, Toothpick? What's going on? All right, I'm demonetized now. I'll let y'all know I'm doing this for free now. So all the stream is for free now. I just got demonetized, so it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna do this for free for the rest of the night for y'all. That is one of the funniest things I've ever seen on on a movie of my life. It truly is. And if y'all have not seen that scene, y'all have to go Google that scene because that's one of the greatest things, funniest things I've ever seen in my life. All right. So the point I'm trying to make is that people are institutionalized. You know what I mean? And it's hard to break out of it. So it would be hard for me to see Theon after all he's been through turn back to Theon the Lord instead of Reek. It's very hard for me to see how that could happen so fast. And if it did happen that fast, it would be very unrealistic to me. All right. If someone cut off your toes, cut off your fingers, knocked out your teeth, I know people who got their ass kicked in 6th grade on a grown people and still ain't got over it. I know women who've been called names. Like I know this one girl that used to call her Big Hole in the Coal. All right. I think they did it because it rhymed, but they called the Big Hole in the Coal. But she's a grown ass woman right now. And if you say that to her, she'll lose her mind. Like she goes crazy. And she to hear that. She'll want to fight you if you say that to her. Because people haven't gotten over shit. All right. And that was back in 6th grade. And they're sick in the 40s now. All right. But you can't say what up, Big Hole in the Coal. She'll lose her mind on you. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that people are institutionalized. I just do not see how at all Theon can get over this quick. I just don't understand how that can be. That can be. Perry says you can't hack up. KJ, be back later. Oh, I'm sorry, KJ. I'm just talking about situations. I didn't say I called her that. I was just in the same school. That was it. All right, so okay, now we're talking about Theon. Yeah, that's something you don't get over. Yeah, we've been talking about. That's what I was just giving examples. Ridiculous Ed Toilet. That's all. Kids are terrible. Poor kids are terrible. We all had poor girls that had terrible rumors and names. Yeah, you listen when you're in school and you know that's terrible. Carson. AU, that would be a great channel for YouTube day. Listen, people are terrible. I got made fun of when I was younger. I got teased all the time. I have a big nose. You think people didn't tease me over my nose when I was younger? Of course I did. People in the city, people care. They do not care. Even your friends will make fun of you eventually. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. People always gonna make fun of somebody, and that's you just gotta know how to roll with the punch. I was just a funny motherfucker. So if you were able to say anything like that, and you were able to say anything like that to me, you had to come at it because I would get you. And I was one of those kids that didn't stop. Like I kept going. I once I got one laugh, I was going for all the laughs, and that was it. And that's just the way it goes. Okay, I'm recording. I was Nicholas said toy. I said I was late to stream. Came in, call when you're quoting. Don't be a menace. Very confused until then. Yeah. So what I was saying that ridiculous Ed Toilet was just how people institutionalized, and that's it. That's all. And I don't think that Theon can get over that because someone said that they thought that Theon would actually become Theon again and get over being Reek, and I just don't see how that would be realistic if he was. Yeah, AU, they call AU Jelly Donut. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. That's not that bad at all. That bad at all. All right, so anyone feel that Theon is going to survive or anything else, you can put it in the comment section you want. You know, please, we got 78 people watching right now. Thank you very much for coming. I hope that I am doing a professional job. I'm trying to be professional as much as I can. It's nighttime. I'm having a couple of drinks. It's nighttime right now, and I'm trying to do that. Bernie L is here, so Bernie, tomorrow night we'll be doing the Lady in the Don giveaway. All right, so make sure all 79 of you people here, make sure tomorrow night, Lady in the Don giveaway. All right, we're doing it tomorrow night. It's gonna go down. Have it on the board tomorrow exactly. I'll put it up tomorrow when it's going to happen, and we're going to give away $50 worth of Bernie's artwork and $50 worth of San Rixian's artwork. That'll all be paid in full before you get it. So all you'll have to do is just contact them. Hopefully they'll be on the stream with us or something. And then you contact them, tell them what you want. They will send it to you, yada, courtesy of the Don Lady and the Don. Happy to do this for them and for you. Told you like to do a giveaway at least once a month. But the only thing you have to be is subscribe to Teflon TV and Living My Rhapsody and the Lady and Don podcast. You gotta be subscribed to all three. All right. But as long as you subscribe to all three, then you are able to win this. So let's get subscribed. It's not hard to click of a button. The links are always in the description and where to go to do all that stuff. Subscribe to all three channels and you have the opportunity. If you are not subscribed to all three channels, then we will check. You will not deliver. We will not get the goods delivered to you. That's just what it is. So tomorrow we're going to do that. We're going to put some money in Bernie and Sam Rixian's pocket, and we're going to give y'all some good gifts. All right, that's how it is. I said it would have went down tonight, but she couldn't make it tonight, so we're going to do it tomorrow. Brother Star says, I agree. Tony Theon's the message could be his time to end. It's hard to say if George R. R. Martin had something else. I just don't know. It's very hard to say. I'm just giving my opinion. He could let him last longer. I don't see why, but if he does, I would not see why it would be. You know what I mean? Why if he had more for him to do, I don't see what it is. Prizes and the Don. That's what you get. So you get to win tomorrow night. So I don't know how we're gonna do it. Probably just do some questions or something. So we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Some questions or anything else like that. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get you in there and everything else. All right. All right, cars out there fun to watch. It should be fun to watch if you're talking about that. Any chance of Bran of Bloodraven tries to warg Stannis at the tree? Negative. That's not going to happen. I don't believe that Stannis would be warged. Usually when you warging people, skin changing people, it's weak-minded people that you are able to accomplish that from. We've seen Vlad Sixskins try to do this to the woman, and he wasn't able to fully get her because she was a strong-minded individual. So usually it's effective more against weak-minded individuals and animals with weak minds. So that is why it's effective against Hodor. So I don't think that they'll be able to stand this as too strong-minded for him to be warped in any way. Skin changed, I should say. Oh, we say the real way, body snatched, right? It's not going to happen to the Manus. All right. So next thing we're going to get into is the pink letter. Let me see if we pull up the exact quote of the pink letter. See if I can pull it up. Why do they have to have it in like old English? Who cares about that? Is this where we're trying to do them? Yeah. Let's see. Is this what it said? All right. I must not remember it. All right. So we're going to get into who wrote the pink letter real quick. So it seems a little different to me. Is this what it says? The letter demand. All right. Let's go through it real quick. So the pink letter, if this is the actual copy of it, sounds a little different to me, but it says, to the traitor and bastard Jon Snow, you allowed 1,000 wildlings past the wall. You have betrayed your own kind, and you have betrayed the North. Winterfell is mine, bastard. Come and see. Your brother on Rookon is in my dungeon. His direwolf skin is on the floor. Come and see. Wait a second. It sounds different. Doesn't that sound different? It doesn't sound like the actual pink letter. It doesn't sound like that's from the show, right? That's not the real letter. It doesn't sound like the right one the way it's supposed to be. Something wrong with that. Where's the goddamn copy of the fucking pink letter? Oops, I'm done. I'm not getting paid for this. Where's the thing of it? That's why I need somebody here with me that they could pull this stuff up for me. See if it's in winter. It's coming. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. So it says this. Your false king is dead, bastard. He and his host were smashed in 7 days of battle. I have his magic sword. Tell his red whore. Your false king's friends are dead. Their heads upon the walls of Winterfell. Come and see. Them bastard. Your false king lied, and so did you. You told the world you burned the king beyond the wall. Instead, you sent him to Winterfell to steal my bride from me. I will have my bride back. If you want Mance Rayder back, come and get him. I have him in a cage for all the north to see. Proof of your lies. The cage is cold, but I have made him a warm cloak from the skins of the 6 whores who came with him to Winterfell. I want my bride back. I want the false king's queen. I want his daughter and his red witch. I want this wildling princess. And I want this little prince, the wildling babe. And I want my reek. Send them to me, bastard, and I will not trouble you or your black crows. Keep them from me, and I will cut your bastard's heart out and eat it. Signed, Ramsay Bolton, Trueborn Lord of Winterfell. So, a lot of people want to believe that. Some people will say that Ramsay wrote the letter, but I don't believe Ramsay wrote the letter. I can get into a billion reasons why Ramsay didn't wrote the letter. But the next thing is people say Mance Rayder wrote this letter. All right. Those people who think that are wrong too. All right. So the person who wrote this letter is Stannis Baratheon. He's the only one who has all this information that's in the letter right there. It's really no way that it's Ramsay or Mance. And we can go through it real quick to prove that it's not either of those people right there. All right. So let's go through it right here. So it starts off, it says, your false king's friend. Oh, let's go back. Your false king is dead, bastard. He and his host were smashed in 7 days of battle. I have his magic sword. Tell his red whore. If this was written by Mance Rayder, in the same letter, it says that Mance Rayder had already been captured. So how would Mance Rayder know that Stannis Baratheon had been defeated in battle if Mance Rayder wrote this letter? So right from the first line that you hear right here, it would be impossible for Mance. When we look at where Mance is at the time, we have the people are when Theon's escaping, the washerwomen are trying to help Theon escape, right? And they help him escape, but they all get captured. Some of them get killed. How would it be Mance be able to find where the crows are located in Winterfell? Not only find where the crows are located in Winterfell, find the exact raven in Winterfell that flew to the wall, write this letter down, find that exact raven, right? How many ravens do they have in there? He has to find the exact one. Does it have a cage on it that says to the wall, and put it on there and send that raven up? So just from the first part of the letter, we know that it's impossible for Mance to have wrote that right there. There would be no reason for Mance to say those words and to say that he has Stannis's magic red sword. on him at that particular time. It makes no sense. Everything was a lie. Stannis has been defeated. Mance has been captured. So everything is not a lie in that. It could be a lie, and I'm going to prove it. We're going to go through that. I do believe that most of the stuff in there is a lie. All right. Next, it says, your false king's friends are dead. Their heads upon the walls of Winterfell. Come and see them, bastard. All right. So your false king's friends are dead. Their heads upon the wall of Winterfell. When we hear them talk about people putting heads on pikes and things like that, that's really not a northern thing. If it happened and we seen that Ramsay was to do that situation and Ramsay was to do it, we know that that they like to fillet people, right? That's their whole thing. They like to cut the skin off of people. When we see Ramsay send letters, he sends a piece of skin inside of the letter. All right. So why would he all of a sudden start putting heads on pikes? That's not really his style. It's not the Bolton way. So that right there is something that they would not do or anything else like that. All right. So it says, your false king lied, and so did you. You told the world you burned the king beyond the wall. Instead, you sent him to Winterfell to steal my bride from me. So, well, thank you for the super chat. At least I get paid $5 for this stream, and I do appreciate it. So she says, how about Melisandre? Much love, Don Tony Teflon. Wish I could send you more for you if you have someone at the Castle Black. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, if it was Melisandre, it would be in coordination with Stannis Baratheon. The only way she would know the information in it is with Stannis. So I would say that if it is Melisandre, I still consider that being with Stannis because they work as a tandem together. It's possible that it could be because we've seen that Stannis was staring at the flames all the time, and that was it. So it's quite possible. So again, we also hear, and thank you for the super chat. Truly, truly appreciate that. So, and you don't have to worry about sending more. $5 is plenty. So thank you so much. So we hear that Stannis Baratheon is dead in the letter. I just told you earlier today, a little bit earlier, that he says specifically to Justin Massey that you might hear that I'm dead. And here's a letter going to Winterfell. I mean, going to the wall saying that he is dead. Right? That's not a coincidence that happened. Also, when Jon Snow gets the letter, you have to think about it like this. So when Jon Snow gets the letter, he has a pink smear of wax is found on the letter, it said. Usually when it is from a lord or anything that's like Ramsay or something, it's a button of wax, and they use their insignia ring to close it. But it specifically says that it's a smear of pink wax that's on it, right? Not the button that's stapled on it. So therefore, we know that only one person has access to this pink wax, and that is Stannis Baratheon, because he's captured the maester who has that wax and sent the letter back to Roose Bolton. We know that he has that man, so he has his pink wax. So he has that situation. All right, let's go back to it right now. It says, your false king lied to you. Lied, and so did you. You told the world you burnt the king beyond the wall. Instead, you sent him to Winterfell to steal my bride from me. Now, obviously, Mance is that person in there. So if Mance sent that letter, and then Mance would easily say, oh, thank you very much for the super chat. ISK 750, appreciate that. Now you get paid to read the letter. I appreciate that. I'll take payment for anything. There we go. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. Super chats coming in. I'll take it. We would take it. We would take it. We would take it. All right. So he says the only person who, obviously, if it was Mance, he would know that would not happen. So obviously he'd be able to send that if it was Mance. That's that. But we know that Stannis knows that because when Theon and Asha comes out in that chapter, it says specifically that he talks about Abel and the washerwomen who weren't washerwomen. So Stannis would know that. Also, Stannis is in cahoots with Melisandre. So it's a good possibility that he knows already that she sent Mance right in there. A lot of people think that she's working behind Stannis's back, but there has been no proof in this show whatsoever that she has done anything behind Stannis's back. So this is because she told Jon Snow this, and Stannis would know that Jon Snow knows this. That is what it is. He says, then after this, I will have my bride back. If you want Mance Rayder back, come and get him. I have him in a cage for all the North to see. Proof of your lies. The cage is cold, but I have made for him a warm cloak of the 6 whores who came with him to Winterfell. So we know Theon has said the exact number of women that came with him there. That's how Stannis would know that. And right here, you have to ask yourself, you have to say, what is the purpose of this letter? Is the purpose of the letter to get Jon Snow to comply? No. The purpose of this letter is to get Jon Snow to leave Winterfell, to put him in a position, we leave the wall, to put him in a position where he says, there's nothing I have to do, I have to leave the wall. If you look consistently from Stannis being at the wall, Stannis offered Val to Jon. He offered Winterfell to Jon. He did all these things that he offered to Jon, and the reason why he did it was because he wanted Jon to leave the wall and come with him to march on Winterfell, because he knew that the North would follow the son of Ned Stark, and Jon constantly turned him down. He knows that Jon Snow is friends with Mance Rayder. He knows that Jon Snow respects Mance Rayder. So hearing about Mance Rayder being inside this position and everything else that has happened, and the women being filleted and the skins being cut off their body, would make Jon say, you know what? I have to go down there. Stannis is dead. Everyone else is dead. I have to do what I got to do. I have to be proactive. I have no choice but to attack the castle. That's what that's about. So he says right here, I want my bride back. I want the false king's queen. I want his daughter and his red witch. I want this wildling princess. All right, let's stop that right here. So, thank you for the super chat, Fernandez T. Appreciate that, brother. You always got my back. $15. You know I got nothing but love for you, bro. You always got my back, and I truly appreciate it. All right. So when we look at these things right here, I want my bride back. I want the false king's queen. I want his daughter and his red witch. I want this wildling princess. Let's go through that real quick and unpack that. Stannis knows all that because Theon has specifically says those words in that order when you read what he said to Stannis. Next, he says, I want this wildling princess. Mance Rayder, and he's referring to Val. Mance Rayder has never, ever, not one time in the history of anything you see in these books, referred to Val as a wildling princess. All right? Jon Snow specifically says that the wildlings do not see her as a princess or anything like that. The only person in the story who consistently calls her the wildling princess is Stannis Baratheon. He constantly says it, wildling princess, wildling princess, wildling princess. Why, if Mance was over here talking about Val, why would he call her the wildling princess? And if you want to say that Ramsay, because this is supposedly all this information was gathered from Ramsay because he interrogated Mance and Mance gave this up to Ramsay, why would Mance all of a sudden get up and say, hey, he's Red Quintus up there and he's got a wildling princess up there? He wouldn't refer to her as the wildling princess. There's only one person who says that. One person who says that in the books at all, wildling princess, and that's Stannis Baratheon. Joe, I'm going to address this question too. So it says, is deception even in Stannis's nature? All right, so I hear people say this all the time. And Stannis, this is nothing that Stannis would do. Stannis is an honorable guy. That's bullshit. This is a guy who used a shadow baby to kill his brother when the chips were against him. Right? When he knew that he was going to lose to his brother, he allowed Melisandre to use a shadow baby to do it. It's a man who sacrifices people. He is on that Malcolm X shit by any means necessary. He does not care how he gets there. He just wants to get there. So this is in Stannis's nature when the chips are down. He's in a desperate situation right now. That would be like saying, oh, Stannis is not going to lure the Freys onto the ice to the ice river because that's deception. Is that not deception? Luring them, putting snow over the holes and causing them to fall into the ice? That's a deception. That's not a victory that is fought head up. He is deceiving them to fall into that, but it's fine for him to do that, but it's not fine for him to use this. So it's hard for me when people say things like that for them to see the logic in why they would say those things. This is battle. Stannis is by any means necessary. All right, next he says, after I've just got that, and I want my reek. This is exactly what Theon says. He says in the letter, you says, Ramsay is coming. He wants his bride back and he wants his reek. That's the exact words that he says to Stannis right there. The exact words. And that's it. Send them to me, bastard. I will not trouble you and your black crows. Keep them for me and I will cut your bastard's heart out and eat it. All right. That is the ending of it. Now, there will be people that will say that he says black crows in there. Melisandre and Mance are the ones who refer to him. The wildlings refer to him as black crows. Melisandre also refers to them in the books as black crows. You can look that up too. So that's not a stretch for someone saying black crows. He's trying to insult them. So he's also saying something. Also, all the wildling terms in there. Wildling is an insulting term to the free folk. So why would Mance go in there and just call them wildling? He wouldn't say, he would say free folk because that's just in his nature to say it. So that is why I have to say that I've given you all the proof. I can give you even more proof. I have more proof to that Stannis is the one who wrote the pink letter. It only makes sense if Stannis is the one who wrote the pink letter. It makes no sense for everybody else to have wrote it. So when it's all said and done, I can't wait until the book comes out so that we can see that Stannis is the one that wrote the pink letter. One second, I'll be right back. If anybody does have any questions about the pink letter, please drop it right now. If you, I mean, I am willing to listen to anybody who believes that someone else said it. Brian Tarman, on the point of view, I forgot your thoughts then. I am the one who championed Stannis wrote the pink letter. You could take a look at the videos I made on that. That's kind of like how my channel almost started. That was like one of the first theories I ever really did was Stannis in the pink letter. I am the champion of that cause. You can ask anybody. You go check back my thing. I don't think anyone's put out a video of that before me. So that is what it is. And it is a great time to smash the like button and subscribe to the Teflon Don Mafia. You want to be a part of Teflon Mafia, subscribe to the channel and become a part of the Mafia. We are taking people right now. The Kosher Nostra is open. We're doing a ceremony and everything else. That is what it. That is the way it goes. Look at these people. Oh, okay. Instagram. How many people follow me on Instagram? I don't know why. I don't even go on there. All right. Anyway, that's what. Yeah, I've been rocking this. Everyone know. Anyone know the deal, man. There's a couple of champions. Like, you know, I am the Stannis, the man. I can't. I'm the one who did that. Preston Jacobs is the Mance-rated dude. He's the one who did that. I've asked Preston many times to not many times, but I've asked to talk about that, and he has admittedly said in his videos that he would not be shocked or surprised that if Stannis wrote it, and that's good because when it comes out that he did wrote it, he won't be shocked, and that's what it is. All right, we're doing pink letter questions right now. Anything you got, you can give any point that you want to make, anything like that. Asha Greyjoy wrote it. No, I don't think that Asha would write it. She would have the information to put it in there. There's no doubt about that. But I think that I don't think she wrote it because Stannis has the Maester. You know, and if he really had to, he could get that maester to write that letter for him if the handwriting was different. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Asha wrote that. I wouldn't go, but I don't think I've ever heard Asha wrote it. I think I've heard a lot of people. I never heard Asha before. NYDA says, I think Ramsey wrote it, and I think it's all true. It's impossible. There's no way that battle would take that long. You know what I mean? It just won't. It won't happen. NYDA. It's no way that battle's not going to last that long. So to say that he got smashed and not long of a battle, it just won't happen like that. But we're going to get into the battle in a second right now. Carl Snock says Tony is going to be proven right on Stannis and the children of the forest never death of Don. Listen, I would say I agree with you, Carl Snock. Don't doubt me when it comes to things. I mean, you look at the theories and things that people have gotten right in this community, whether it's Reddit, whether it's YouTube, whether it's any other forum you want to say. If you look at all the theories I've came up with, I've gotten more theories right than anybody in this business. And that's just fact. It's not bragging. That's just the truth. You can go through my videos. You can look them up. You can see it straight up. There's no doubt about it. That it's not even close, too. Like, I've gotten many of these theories right. People aren't even close. People haven't even gotten one. And I've gotten many of them right. All right. So I'm telling you, this is the way it's going to happen. Don't doubt the Don. We pull the strings. Check. You know it. All right. That's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? Chrissy says, I'm still unsure. Stannis wrote it. You know, why are you unsure? I do think most of the things written in it were lies. So yeah, it is mostly lies, the whole things, and that's just the bottom line. But you know, it definitely stands. I don't know why you're unsure. You have to tell me why you're unsure for me to address that. But I just don't think everything. Oh, hi, since I've been subscribed since 2K. I truly appreciate that. I truly appreciate you rocking with me all this time. I truly do. I truly appreciate that. All right, we've been on here for almost an hour and a half. If Stannis wins the battle out of the lake, then decides to siege on Winterfell, it could take 7 days. It wouldn't take 7 days for the siege on Winterfell because that's not how it's going to happen. So there's no way he could win a siege on Winterfell. So let's get right into that. So Stannis wins the battle lake. Let's assume he does. And now he's got to take Winterfell. We know that Winterfell is highly protected with 6 walls. Stannis says specifically to Theon, Bolton has blundered. All he had to do was stay behind his walls and we would have died, right? So by Stannis saying that, he knows that it's impossible for him to win a siege. He can't out-siege him. He doesn't have the provisions to stand outside and wait them out. And he says Bolton has blundered because he sent his people out against him. All he had to do was stay inside there and he would have been fine, all right? So there will not be a siege on Winterfell. That's not how it's going to happen. So how does Stannis defeat the Bolton army in Winterfell? It's easily done. There's a couple of ways it could be done. One way could be with Theon. And let's take a look at that, how it goes down. First way would be, if he's going to defeat them, was he defeats the frayed troops. He takes the armor from the frayed troops. He puts the frayed troops' armors on his people. He marches back with the Mandalays, who they think are on their side. He puts a dead body in his armor. He gets his sword onto that dead body, and they hold the sword up, and they act like they defeated them, and they open the gates doors for them, and they all go inside. And then once the whole army gets inside, they sack them from the inside. That, to me, is most likely what it's going to happen when it all comes down to it. It'll be some Trojan horse situation. And that is how he'll most likely defeat them. I don't believe that Jon Snow and them will be able to come down in time to save the day for that. I think Jon Snow and his army, when they come down there, I think it's going to be to fight against the White Walkers, the ones who leave, because the other people who stay at the wall are going to die when the White Walkers attack the wall. So I think that those guys who make it out, they will be there to defend that. So it will have to be a situation like that. He'll have the Frey armor. We know the Frey armor is very distinctive, right? So he puts the Frey armor on his people. They put a dead body in Stannis's armor. They hold up. The Mandalays are supposed to be down with Roose. They'll be looking at them. They'll blow the horns. They'll see them that they're victorious. They defeated Stannis. Here's his body. Here's his sword. They will open it up. They open the gates up. As soon as they get inside, they blitz everybody and kill everyone. We know Lady Dustin is not down with the Boltons already, all right? So once people flip on the Boltons and draw blood from them, everybody will flip on the Boltons. So I think that's what happens then, and I think that's how Stannis, me personally, will take Winterfell. I think it goes down just like that. Now, could he sneak in through the crypts of Winterfell if he had Theon and Theon knew the way in through the secret entrance of the crypts? That could be a way. But I think with the crypts of Winterfell is, I think that if Mance is alive in any way, that's where he's hiding out. He's hiding out in the crypts of Winterfell, trying to wait this out. I think that's where he will be if that's a factor. But I think that that's how Stannis will take Winterfell. Is that way. I don't see him having to take it any other way. I think that's how it goes down. We got Carla Wade is in there with Big Howdy coming through the door. Because it's just impossible for him to stand out there and battle them. There's no way he could do that. He has to take them from the inside out. And, you know, Lady Dustin says it. If someone's seen Roose Bolton bleed a little bit, then they would all flip. The Mandalays hate him. Lady Dustin hates him for Ramsay for killing her. So I think Ramsay does escape, though, in this. I don't think he dies. But I think Roose Bolton will die in this whole situation. Roose will get killed. Roose's men will die. The Freys will die. Or everyone there left will die. Everyone will die. And that would be it. Then it'll be Stannis with the Mandalays, with Jon Snow, the wildlings that come down. All of them will fight at Winterfell versus the Night King and the Night King's army. That's how that will go. For the Battle of Winterfell, they will go there. And I don't know if that happens in the Winds of Winter because he has a lot of battles already. So I don't know if they'll show that there or that'll be in A Dream of Spring. But I think that is how it's going to end for Stannis in the Winds of Winter. Him taking Winterfell back and him winning Winterfell. And I think that's exactly how he does it. So I have broken down Stannis Baratheon for you in this 1 hour and 30-minute video. And I am here to take your questions before we get off this air. So if you have questions about anything, please let me know what's going down. Oh, Glenn, yeah, I'll definitely do that for you, Glenn. I'll make a video on. I did a video on that a long time ago, but I'll make an updated video for that. I can do that. No problem. Does Stannis burn Roose? I wish he would burn Roose. I like Roose Bolton. That's the whole thing. I like Roose Bolton. I really like Roose Bolton. I truly do. I like Roose Bolton's character. Burn Roose. I don't know if he'll burn him, but I do think that he's definitely going. Roose will be dead. I don't know if he's going to be dead at the hands of Stannis, but he'd definitely be dead. Oh, how will Book Stannis die? You know, we had to talk about that in another episode. We only go into the Winds of Winter, and I'm going to talk about how Book Stannis is going to die, if he's going to die. I'll tell you this though, Carl Snart. I did a video like 6 years ago how the Winds of Winter will end. If you go back and watch that video I did, I still feel the exact same way it will happen. So you could watch that video. It's in my catalog somewhere way back, but you could watch that there. But I do think that you know, if it ends for him, it'll end that way. Do you think there'll be another fall spring? Could this enable a siege at Winterfell? By the way, Stannis and the Bolton. No, there'll be never fall spring. No. It's too much snow. Winter's coming. The White Walkers are coming. There's no way it's going to be like that. No way. The only way he gets in there is the way I said it, not so. Since Stannis wrote the Pink Letter, does he know about the Great Northern Conspiracy? I don't think the Great Northern Conspiracy is tied to the Pink Letter. So I don't think he really needs to know about that in order for that to be a factor. So, and if you look at that, so that's why I feel about the Aaron Red. But Carl Carson, look at that video I did a long time ago, and you'll see a bunch of theories I made up back then that all came true in there. You'll see it in there. It's like 4 of them that I said like 6 years ago that would happen, and you'll see that they all came true. In the show, everything I said in that video, not everything, but all that stuff. And I said that stuff before anyone even thought about it. What is Stannis' purpose in this story? I think that Stannis' purpose in the story is to people, some people say he's a placeholder. He's this. I think Stannis' purpose is to represent the Baratheon and the Baratheons. He's like, people want to compare him, and I can understand why they would to Rhaenyra Targaryen, and he's kind of like that. I think Stannis is here to do his duty. It's not like Stannis wanted to be king, like Rhaenyra Targaryen, and people can compare him to her. She wants to be queen because she feels that it's her right by blood, and that's her position. Stannis, he feels it's his right because his brother was king. He's next in line, but it's nothing that he asked for. It's nothing that he wants. He thinks he has to do it because it's his duty to do it. He has no choice but to do it. Honor makes him have to do it. He would have been rather just been the Lord of Storm's End and been happy with that. But he feels that he's been thrust into this position where he has no choice but to do it. I don't believe that he really truly believes that he's Azor Ahai, or he believes that he's the man who's going to do all that. I think he just believes that he has to sit the Iron Throne because it's his duty to do it. And if someone wants to follow him and say, hey, you're Azor Ahai, that's why you do it. If he's going to get that support from that person because they believe that, I think he's just willing to go along with it. Good night to Santavia Major. And all that good stuff. All right, anything else we have here? Do we have anything else in this chat? Any more questions? Ask me anything. You got 10 minutes to ask me any question about anything that you want in this whole wide world, and I will answer it. 10 minutes. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And, I appreciate that. It really helps out a lot if you do. I truly do it. And after the stream is over, please leave a comment in the stream. It really helps out a lot. Hugo Awards, Daryl Garb, talking about George R.R. Martin's comments at the Hugo Awards. I think that, there's a lot of suspect things George has put in his books. I think he has said a couple of suspect statements in life that he's given interviews about. But I would say that when it comes down to this particular thing, that saying that he purposely said black people's names wrong to disrespect them, I don't see that there. I don't see him just doing that just to do that. So I can't say that. There are other things that he has said in the books and other things he has said in interviews that I could say that it's a suspect, but I don't know the man's heart. But I don't think that the Hugo Awards that he said something that was just to disrespect black people. He's wanted to make say something wrong about their name. As for saying that talking good about a guy that we know was a known racist, I don't think he was talking about the guy's who the guy was. I think he was just talking about the guy's profession, complimenting him on his profession and work, more not his content of his character. As you will see a lot of baseball players when they do that about Ty Cobb. And we know Ty Cobb was nothing but just a straight racist, but he's still in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and people still talk about him being one of the greatest hitters of all time. And they deal with him with being a hitter. So I think it was meant more towards that. But if you want to talk about the other things that George R. R. Martin said, that I don't agree with, there's a lot of things that he did. What will happen to Melisandre when Stannis dies or is killed? I don't know if Stannis is going to die and be killed, so I can't really tell you that. Will Stannis learn he's not Azor Ahai? I don't think Stannis believes he's Azor Ahai. House Lord, but could Theon try to make a sacrifice play during the battle like he did in the show? I just don't know how that would play out because he did that for Bran. I don't know how that would play out. I think he'd be sacrificed before he makes a sacrifice play. Who stops the others in the book? Oh, the others will be stopped by Jon Snow. That's his purpose. That's what will happen. What is Stannis' role in the wars to come? Battle for Winterfell. He's going to win the Battle of Winterfell, and he's going to fight against the White Walkers. That's what's going to be. That's what I think it is. Helgar says, yes, hit that like and subscribe button. Please, truly consider subscribing if you haven't been subscribed or anything else like that. I really will appreciate that. Maybe for Asha, House Lord Bridge said maybe he would sacrifice himself for Asha. We seen him jump off the goddamn boat for Asha, so we don't know if he's going to sacrifice himself for Asha. But quite I can't say that he wouldn't. Does Howland Reed show up in the books? Yes, Howland Reed does show up in the books. It's not going to be like the show where they omit him. There's a reason why he was the only one who survived the Tower of Joy. And I just don't think that everyone would just believe that Bran has all this psychic ability like they just were willing to believe it in the show. So I think they would need a human being to come forth and say something that they knew was there. So that would be that. What happens when Brienne meets Stannis? I don't think Brienne will meet up with Stannis again. So Brienne's got a tricky situation she's dealing with the Hag Woman, with Catelyn Stark. Yeah, so we don't know if she's going to be able to survive that right now. I could do a video on that and talk about that. What will happen with the Iron Bank and sellsword Stannis is trying to buy? They will all come back to Stannis, and that's going to be his backup. They're going to come by boat into the Mandalay, into White Harbor is where they're going to come. Who do you think will be the Lord of Storms? And when this ends, most likely it would be Edric Storm will be the Lord of Storms. And when it's all said and done. What else is there? Brienne, Jamie, Lee Stoneheart video would be rad. Yeah, I could do that for you, House Lord Briss. No problem. I could do a Lee Stoneheart video. I haven't done one in a while, so I could definitely do that for you. So we could definitely get that done. Will Davos get Rickon? I think we'll see what happens with Rickon if he hasn't been eaten by those people. We don't know how everyone thinks that Rickon's going to be all good over there and stuff like that, but it's a good possibility that Rickon does Mandalay get a bigger role? Yeah, if Mandalay doesn't die from his wounds, then he'll have a little bit bigger role, without a doubt. Why did Don the Kraken and Sir LT Giles stop making videos? I made a video with you like 4 years ago and went to prison. I'm thinking about making videos again. Well, glad you're out of the box, brother. You know what I mean? It happens to the best of them. No one to judge, especially me. I ain't no one to judge anything or anything. That's just life, and shit happens like that. You know what I mean? But glad to see you made it out of there. I will say that the Kraken had a problem with drinking that almost cost him his life. So he had to take a couple of steps back real quick and get his thing together. And he has gotten his life together and everything else. So it just depends on whether he's really into it. I don't know. LT Giles does do video. I think he just did a video today. Streaming video game. So we'll see who it is. So I think he's right there. Aaron Webb says, will Stannis see Jon Snow's resurrection? No, of course not. He's all the way in Winterfell. Jon Snow was all the way at the wall. So there's no way that he'll see that. He'll see Jon Snow, but he won't see the resurrection. He doesn't even know that Jon Snow was stabbed up. He has no idea about that. So he may not even know anything about that when it goes down. Let's see. What do you think about the Starks and Stannis? They have a complex relationship. I don't think so. The Stark support Stannis Baratheon's claim to Iron Throne. Ned Stark is the one who said that Stannis is the rightful king. So if you're a Stark, you have to, but Jon Snow's already bent the knee to Stannis 1,000 times. He understands that he's the king. So I don't think that there's a bad relationship there whatsoever. I think they all know that Stannis is the king. And that's just what it is. Will the Night King show up in the books? Actually, Moose Bolton, a video that I'm making tomorrow that I'll release on Monday. I always release a video on Monday, every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time video. and it will be about the Night King right there. So that the Night King will be, as the White King will show up in the books. I'll tell you exactly how the Night King will show up in the books in this video that I do tomorrow and release on Monday. So definitely check that out. So you have 3 videos from me. You have this video today. Tomorrow night you're gonna have the Lady in the Dawn giveaway, and then right after that you're gonna have Monday at 2 o'clock. You'll have another video. Is Jamie your most hated character or someone else? You know, I hate Jamie. Jamie's a piece of shit. He's disgusting. And he could be the most hated character for the Don Tony Teflon. I'm not sure. It's hard to say the most hated, but I would say that he's close. He's very close. It's hard for me to think anyone I hate more than Jamie at this particular time. So, you know, he's very close. Very close. Do the Baratheons realize their close relations to Daemon and Aemon? I would think so. I think that's their history. So I think that's what Carla Way was. What time is tomorrow's stream? I don't know yet. I have to talk to Elamar about that and see exactly when she's free to do it. So we'll figure that out. And if you are, make sure you hit that bell. If you're subscribed, hit the bell. And make sure you put on, when you hit the bell, make sure you hit all notifications. So that way, when I do put the stream out there, that you'll see that it definitely hit you up and stuff like that. So definitely come through, because you want to win a chance to win Sam Rixians and photos from Sam Rixians and photos from Bernie. They're very good artists, so you definitely want them without a doubt. Thanks for the stream. Priscilla says with a $4.99 super chat. Now, thank you for the super chat, and I appreciate it. And you stay safe and be well also. Let's see what else here. Do you hate him more than Cersei? I don't hate Cersei at all. I'm the first one. I'm the one who came out with the love for Cersei, and then all of a sudden everyone jumped on that goddamn bandwagon. But if you look at my video I made of the misrepresentation of Cersei Lannister, you look at those 2 videos I made, you'll see that I'm the first one to show love to Cersei Lannister, and everyone else has jumped on that bandwagon after. But I ain't got nothing but love for Cersei. And what I showered down. I got nothing but love for Cersei. Cersei's a beast, and that's where it is. Shade of the evening. Good night, everyone. See y'all later. Get out Shade in the evening. Please check out Shade in the evening. They do the Dunkin' Egg stuff. I think that'll be going down tomorrow. I can tell you that my stream will not be going on the same time of their stream. Most likely it'll be before their stream. So it'll be a good lead-in for them to go in that, and I will make sure you have the link to their stream when I'm done with that. Don's first episode, I think my first episode I ever made was Why I Like Stannis Baratheon. Don is first to expose the nasty deception peeping at children in the forest. There's no doubt about it. I'm definitely the first one who ever thought that they were evil and said that from the beginning. And that's like anyone else or YouTube or anyone else who's come out with that. Watch my videos first, and that's why they came out with that, and that's just the bottom line. They can say whatever they want, but they can come say it to my face, and we can see what it is. But that is what it is. But yeah, I'll do a lead-in, and we go watch Shade of the Evening and Moni G and I forgot the blonde hair lady's name, and then Cece and all of them up there, and watch them do their things. The gremlins are real. Yes, the gremlins are real. We'll definitely be aware of the because you got to watch out for them. All right, I'm gonna get up out of here. I gave y'all the minute. The time is up. That is what it is. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up. I would like to say thank you for everybody who stopped by. Thank you for all the super chats. I truly appreciate that. Thank you for showing me love out here. You know, in all honesty, I was going to stop doing live streams, because when I was doing live streams, you know, I just wasn't getting, you know, I ain't getting people ain't watching. You know, if I'm doing live streams and 20 people is watching, and it's just really, I look at it, if I ain't no one watching, then I take it as you don't want me to do it. But in all honesty, I will say that you know, it was Gray Area who contacted me and told me to keep doing this and stuff like that. So if y'all mad that I'm doing this, you can blame her. You know what I mean? But she's the one who convinced me and told me that I gotta keep at it and keep doing this. You know what I mean? And Joe the Magician hit me up also and told me that I should keep doing this. But it was great. I was telling me that I should keep rocking on these live streams. So that's why I'm rocking with y'all right now. So one love to Gray Area, one love to Joe the Magician. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.